Internal scar tissue is the issue when it comes to your physical well-being. If you do not untie these invisible bonds that bind you on an emotional and physical and energetic level, your human potential will remain blocked on all levels. When it comes to issues in the tissues, you now have a choice: drugs, surgery, or Wolfe Non-Surgical deep tissue therapy. Without gentle, loving destruction of these obstructions or blockages, you won't have healthy construction. Or in other words, a true healing. Whether we're talking about performing a Wolfe Non-Surgical heart release, pelvic clearance, breast lift, hip, knee, or spinal restoration, these physical blocks must be removed so that proper blood, lymph, and energy flow returns to the area of concern so that the tissues, joints, and organs are restored back to their original state of vitality. I know you don't get this, but you can reverse the hands of time. You can be young again. You do not have to be saying it sucks to get old. I don't know how else to say this to you, but you have been sucker punched. Look, if you remove these physical blockages, you increase circulation. It's as simple as that. If you increase circulation, you increase energy, which then increases temperature, which turns on the built-in mechanism of self-healing. For healing to take place, we must transform the scar tissue back into healthy connective tissue, melt the crystallization, return the displaced calcium to where it belongs, your bones. And understand something, you may not believe this, but we have now the technology and the science to actually restore our bones completely at any age. Our tissues, our joints. Look, we know that inflammation, internal scar tissue formation, and displaced calcium are the major causes of joint problems, premature aging, autoimmune diseases, physical limitation, and yes, even cancer. One of the biggest hurdles for practitioners, still to this day, is finding a successful method to return the displaced calcium that is locked within the tissues, organs, and joints back into the bones where it came from. Balanced blood calcium is critical. Your body will always give up bone calcium to protect your life, first and foremost. Listen, for the first time in history, we are able to accomplish what medical research believed was impossible with SAC ionic therapy. We can now completely restore the displaced calcium back into the bones. SAC is one of the biggest nutritional scientific breakthroughs of this century. This treatment has the ability to return bones back to their healthy state no matter what the age or condition the patient is in. This amazing therapy requires no energy from the patient and needs no other nutritional support to accomplish its goals. So no matter what condition you're in, how old you are, it will complete its job. Listen, SAC ionic calcium is the only calcium product that actually works. So if you would like information on this amazing, amazing therapy, please go to the Doc of Detox library and click on SAC Ionic Calcium Guide. Read our 30-page overview. Watch the 12 videos on the scientific research of SAC and specific conditions it helps. Look it. For all your questions and orders, okay, call us at 855-900-4544, extension 1. Okay, for your free SAC consultation. Understand something. This is a very powerful therapy. It has absolutely no negative side effects. It will do what I just said, but when you order this product, we are going to make sure that you are supported all the way through, because guess what? Your questions matter and you matter. So make sure you call. Whether you want to call or whether you want to order it, you must call us. It is not up in our shop. Thank you. So, no matter what the injury, surgery, disease, or chronic condition you may experience within your body, we must always go in and clean up the excess buildup of internal scar tissue, crystallization, and displaced calcium that occurs during the body's natural healing process after surgery, injury, disease, or trauma. To completely restore the joints and tissues, we must remove the invisible blocks that bind us. What I just shared with you is the master key to staying vibrantly healthy throughout your whole life. Now, I want you to understand something. Every time that you're injured, every time that you have a prolonged disease, every time that you get surgery, your body loves you so much it overcompensates. So there's too much calcium, there's too much scar tissue, too much crystallization. That's why a Wolfe Non-Surgical therapist is going to lovingly take this all apart and put everything back where it needs to and restore your tissues. Yes, we get older, but you don't have to feel old like the majority have been programmed to accept. Just know this, your body will always overcompensate with laying down excessive scar tissue, crystallization, and calcium to protect any weakened, diseased, injured, or highly acidic area. And it will do this more so when it comes to surgery, because surgery is the most traumatic experience for the human body. This is an area the medical system and the natural health system fail at, leaving the majority crippled with this excess internal scar tissue formation and displaced calcium after the so-called healing is complete. I want you to understand something, and it's this. Whether you believe it or not, every one of your cells is alive. They are alive. Every one of your cells has every organ that the human body does. When we cut into the body with a knife, when we radiate, when we do chemotherapy, we cause so much acidity, so much scar tissue, so much displaced calcium. It terrorizes our cells. They're living, breathing entity. And they feel emotion. Just know this, we have been programmed to believe that all of this stiffness is a normal part of our aging. And this, my friend, is why grandpa's as stiff as a board and grandma's in a wheelchair, and nobody gives this a second thought, not even healthcare workers. Now, there's a scary thought. You would think that practitioners would realize that if their patient is coming back with the same issue or needing surgery in the same area, then the cause has never been truly dealt with properly, which is and always will be the issues within their tissues, not their bones. Even though it is a normal occurrence to see people today limping, furnishing a cane, walker, wheelchair, or scooter, or even wearing Depends, understand this, it is a normal occurrence for us to see our patients wake up to the fact that after just one Wolfe Non-Surgical deep tissue treatment, along with following the Perfect Day protocol, they finally realize that their body can and will totally heal itself without surgery, without implants, and without drugs. No one needs to remain a victim anymore. You now have a choice for maybe the first time in your life. True health has always been a joint effort between you and your body, not you and your practitioner. So take massive personal action. Look it, all these therapies have their place. But unless you open up and transform the internal scar tissue back to healthy connective tissue, melt the crystallization, replace the displaced calcium back to the bones, then the therapy or treatment is only temporary at best. Look it, where all other therapies fail, Wolfe Non-Surgical Deep Tissue Therapy succeeds. Wolfe Non-Surgical Deep Tissue Therapy is the antidote to the needless surgery and the implant obsessed and the drug addicted approach that the world has now bought into. Why make surgery your first choice? Why not give your body a chance to heal naturally? Or Wolfe Non-Surgical Deep Tissue Therapy is the antidote to the needless surgery and the implant obsessed and the drug addicted approach that the world has now bought into. Why make surgery your first choice? Why not give your body a chance to heal naturally by uncovering and discovering the hidden practitioner within and let the real healing begin? Nothing creates more scar tissue problems in the body than surgery. So beware of the invisible bonds that will eventually strangle your tissues, muscles, joints, and organs. There is a major problem in healthcare today with practitioners not understanding the body's natural healing process of overcompensating with scar tissue and displaced calcium to protect and support the healing process of an injury, disease, or damaged tissue. Where the problem lies is body workers, therapists, nurses, and even doctors think that after the injury is healed, their job is done. So now, because of a lack of understanding that most health professionals have on this topic of the body overcompensating when healing, the majority of the population is left with physical blocks within their joints, tissues, and organs that were supposedly healed, but later in life will haunt them and eventually even cripple them, as we see with the increase of canes, walkers, wheelchairs, and shortage of nursing homes. These physical blocks created by the natural healing process of the body, if not removed, will create stiffness, pain, infection, stagnation, inflammation, internal scar tissue, fibroids, and even tumors, which we continually see in our practice day in and day out. Look at, if practitioners don't change, this will never change. Where do you think practitioners fit? They're the ones that are giving the information to the majority of the population. So if a natural health practitioner says this is as good as it gets, their patient believes it. If these physical blocks are not removed and the tissues are not restored back to their original healthy state, then blood, lymph, and energy flow will continue to be compromised along with the quality of your life. During the body's natural healing process, and even after the injury, disease, or surgery has supposedly healed, practitioners must go in with Wolfe Non-Surgical deep tissue therapy to remove the buildup of scar tissue, crystallization, and displaced calcium, or the body will never truly be healed, and there will be complications in the future. We see this all the time. This one amazing step of utilizing Wolfe Non-Surgical is revolutionizing the way we look at body work and how it's the key to true healing. How could something so obvious go unnoticed for so long? It's called unconscious programming. We all suffer from it. You would think that practitioners would realize that if their patient is coming back with the same issue or needing surgery in the same area, then the cause has never been dealt with properly, which is and always will be the issues within their tissues, not their bones. I promise, within your first treatment of Wolfe Non-Surgical deep tissue therapy, your belief will be restored about the amazing healing powers of your body. Wolfe Non-Surgical deep tissue therapy releases and awakens the supposedly dead nerves that are being strangled, irritated, and inflamed by the internal scar tissue formation and displaced calcium within your joints, muscles, and spine. The medical system, along with natural health care, are of the opinion that the nerves that you cannot see on X-ray are dying or dead already. This is false. The fact is, these nerves become calcified and get wrapped up and choked off with scar tissue, which cuts off the nerve transmission, otherwise the energy flow. This same mistake is made by doctors who say there's no cartilage left in the knee or the hip and that it's bone on bone. Well, I can tell you this, the cartilage and the tissue is still there, but it's cemented to the bone. But only until we go in with Wolfe Non-Surgical therapy and the Perfect Day protocol, and then using SAC calcium to restore the joint and its tissues back to its original healthy state. When you remove the calcification and restore the scar tissue back to healthy connective tissue, you will automatically return the natural flow and the life force to these so-called dead nerves and worn out joints. Even though it is a normal occurrence to see people today limping, furnishing a cane, a walker, wheelchair, or scooter, as I said earlier, understand this. It is a normal occurrence for us to see our patients wake up to the fact that after just one Wolfe Non-Surgical deep tissue treatment, along with following the Perfect Day protocol, they finally realize that their body can and will totally heal itself as nature intended. No one has to remain a victim. You now have a choice for maybe the first time in your life. True health has and always has been a joint effort between you and your body. Take massive personal action. Stop attacking it with drugs and surgery, and you will naturally heal. All therapies have their place, but unless you open up and transform the internal scar tissue back to healthy connective tissue, eliminate the crystallization, replace the displaced calcium back to the bones, then the therapy is only temporary at best. Where other therapies fail, Wolfe Non-Surgical Deep Tissue Therapy succeeds. Look, we offer all our patients a money-back guarantee that their first treatment will outweigh all other treatments and therapies that they have received up until that point. Your body has not forgotten how to heal. Your mind has. Let's now talk about the holy grail of healing, which is your abdomen and pelvis. Let's talk about a healthy person, and I do mean a healthy person, not today's definition of a healthy person. You will find in a truly healthy person that the surfaces of the abdominal and pelvic organs are slippery and move easily past one another as this person goes about their daily activities pain-free and abundant energy. For most people, they have quite a different day in store for them. Because of the inflammatory lifestyle that the majority live, adhesions, which are the bands of scar tissue, will form anywhere and everywhere in the abdominal and pelvic area, restricting and tying this person's digestive tract up in knots. For people who have never even received abdominal surgery, we will find massive bands and blocks of scar tissue throughout this area due to an inflammatory lifestyle, emotionally and nutritionally. For all of you who have had surgery or thinking about going for surgery, just know this: surgery causes more adhesions in the human body than anything else. But of all the surgeries performed, abdominal and pelvic surgeries create more scar tissue adhesions than any other surgery. Before contemplating surgery and after any and all surgery, consider reading, watching, or listening to the Perfect Day Guide, Fasting for Perfect Health Guide, A to Z Wellness Guide in the Doc of Detox library, because surgery should not be your only option. Look at total elimination of the inflammation and adhesions through a non-inflammatory lifestyle such as the Perfect Day Diet, advanced water fasting, SAC, ionic calcium therapy, and Wolfe Non-Surgical Deep Tissue Therapy is the most effective way to reverse and prevent the continual formation of adhesions and further surgery. An adhesion is an internal scar that forms in the body after any and all surgeries. Scar tissue adhesions cause tissues and organs to stick together like glue. Understand that external and internal scar tissue and adhesions do not stretch. They pull. They tear easily. They grow roots. Did you hear me? They grow roots. And they attach themselves and eventually choke off your organs, tissues, and joints to the point that you can't even poop. And understand something, everyone. You may not believe this, but go and watch my masterclass, How to Become Number One at the Art of Number Two, and you'll find out that you've been pooping into your pelvis and into your abdomen forever. You'll find out that the actual root rot is the large intestine that actually causes you to become rotten to the core, which is your abdomen, and that is 85 to 95% of all your problems is your large intestine. We have been programmed to attack our large intestine, to disrespect our large intestine, and that's what makes so much money for the pharmaceutical corporations, for surgery, for implants. Where do you think it is? You first become infected, then you become inflamed, and then it's just one domino effect after another. Look at adhesions cause chronic constant pain, fibroids, cancer, endometriosis, and infertility. Infertility has become an epidemic. There's your epidemic pandemic. And this is why we have created a 6-day training called the Perfect Pain-Free Pregnancy Personal Treatment and Training, which, by the way, is one of our most popular trainings for couples wishing to become pregnant or already are. Let's now talk about a scar tissue issue that 20% of North American women are afflicted with. This condition is known as endometriosis. Endometriosis is a medical condition that occurs when the lining of the uterus, called the endometrium, grows in other places, such as the fallopian tubes, ovaries, or along the pelvis. When that lining breaks down, like the regular lining in the uterus that produces the menstruation, it has nowhere to go. To this day, the medical system is still claiming ignorance, that they have no idea what causes endometriosis. But my hope is that you are beginning to understand that the top 4 causes of endometriosis are inflammation, constipation, leaky gut, and surgery. Almost all disease is a scar tissue issue created by inflammation because of misinformation. So, what do you think are the 3 top surgeries for North American women? The number 1 surgery performed in North America is the cesarean section. There are over 1.3 million C-sections performed every year. And did you also know that many women have had 3 to 4 C-sections in a row? Do you realize the massive amount of internal scar tissue this creates? Well, it's not just debilitating, it's crippling and even life-threatening. The second most prominent surgery performed is the hysterectomy, otherwise the removal of a woman's womb, which is the ovaries and the uterus. This is also called pelvic clearance, and in most cases never needs to happen when women learn how to take massive personal action by removing the issues in their tissues and implementing the perfect pelvic protocol. The third most prominent surgery performed on women is myomectomy, or the removal of a benign tumor or scar tissue mass from the uterus. This surgery is performed due to pain, bleeding, and infertility. The main cause of all 3 of these surgeries is we are a constipation, inflammation nation that is continually being fed misinformation. Bottom line. These 3 surgeries make up most of the surgeries that women are forced to endure, due mainly to a broken system where women are being sold off by the pound. Over 33 million women in North America suffer from chronic pelvic pain. Think about that. Why have women accepted this nagging and even excruciating pain as a normal way of life? I'll tell you why. Indoctrination. We are all programmed to serve the needs of corporate America. Stabbing pain in your pelvis is not normal. Prolapse, urine leakage is not normal. Painful lovemaking is not normal. Doctors have been taught that pain can only be managed. Welcome to medical care. Painkillers, muscle relaxants, feeling helpless and depressed have become a way of life for almost half of the female population. Understand, you are not alone. 50% of all the women in North America have pelvic organ prolapse. 1 out of 3 women suffer from sexual pain, and 49% of all women leak urine on a continual daily basis. Just because this is the new normal with most women does not make it natural. Do not accept this. You're not broken. You have been betrayed by a healthcare system that does not work for women. Look, no matter how desperate you feel, just know that we have turned thousands of women around just like you. Real help is finally here. So do not give up on you. You do not need surgery. You do not need pills. You do not need to be stitched up or have Botox injected into your vagina wall. Just know you've been set up. You're not broken. The system is. Now, before we go further, I want to tell you, if you believe you need surgery, you do. If you believe you need pills, you do. I'm not telling you what to do. But the reality is, before you do something dramatic and traumatic, why not give your body a chance? Look, you can take back total control of your abdominal pelvic region when you welcome in Wolfe Non-Surgical and the perfect pelvic healing protocol to your life. You will finally be able to throw away your panty liners, and Depends forever. If you wish to have a total understanding of what's really going on, go to the A to Z Wellness Masterclass guide in the Doc of Detox library and watch the Wolfe Non-Surgical Therapeutic Bodywork Masterclass, and also watch how to become number one at the art of number two. Never feel out of balance again. We can help you take your power back and keep it for the rest of your life. Unleash your feminine power. Within days, faith in self-healing will be restored, I promise you. And within weeks, you will know and feel that you will become whole again. End the confusion that your doctor suffers from. When you put yourself first and foremost by honoring, respecting, and protecting your body, you will love yourself well. Awaken and heal your pelvis and get back to life's simple pleasures. Isn't that what it's all about? What about having a beautiful, happy, healthy day? I mean, we have been so programmed that everything is about the suffering. Look it. Take your life back. To learn more, check out our personal treatment and training guide and the I Am Woman guide in the Doc of Detox library, or go to the International Training Institute of Health, otherwise itioh.com, and unleash the hidden practitioner, the hidden healer within you today. The takeaway message that we must never forget is that all problems within the body all stem from an inflammation, scar tissue issue situation. Right from the tip of your nose to the end of your toes. It is critical that the internal scar tissue created from inflammation, infection, accidents, injuries, sports injuries, stiff joints, and surgeries can be cleaned up and eliminated as the healing takes place. And with surgeries, the excess scar tissue must be eliminated within 8 to 12 weeks post-surgery. It's imperative to take personal action if you wish to set yourself free from these life-threatening invisible bonds that bind you and blind you from the life that you could live. So understand that these three top surgeries, being C-sections, hysterectomy, and myomectomy, are preventable in most cases. These three surgeries create life-threatening adhesions in 93% of the women who get them. Understand, every woman who has ever had surgery on her abdomen or pelvis suffers from multiple adhesions. This is why the Perfect Day Protocol and Wolfe Non-Surgical Deep Tissue Bodywork is a must, or these adhesions will continue to grow and create physical blocks that will slow you down and eventually cut off your circulation, your digestion, and the elimination of waste, which will lead to more inflammation, scar tissue formation, displaced calcium, and even cellular mutation. Look, adhesions in internal scar tissue will attach the intestines to the inner lining of the abdominal wall, peritoneal lining, or to other organs within the abdominal cavity, such as the liver, gallbladder, uterus, fallopian tubes, ovaries, and urinary bladder. Adhesions in the abdomen and pelvis always become a web of destruction for all tissues, muscles, and organs in this area of the body. We are finding that when it comes to prolapse and hernias, doctors are promoting the use of mesh instead of using suture. Look at surgical mesh. They used to suture, but now people are forced to leave their province or state to get this procedure done because the medical device industry is trying to make mesh the only option. Mesh costs $25 to produce and sells for $2,000 per surgery. All these mesh devices were cleared through the 5K pathway. What does this mean for you? Well, it means that the FDA did not require human studies on any of the mesh devices. How crazy is that? But the analysis by the FDA found that the most common adverse effects for surgical repair of hernias with mesh are Are you ready for this? Pain, infection, hernia reoccurrence, scar tissue-like tissue that sticks other tissues together, which chokes off proper circulation. Go figure, how's that, eh? So, but they're still pushing it through because who's really working behind the scenes? Look it. Mesh can also cause blockages in the large or small intestine and uncontrollable bleeding. The primary function of surgical mesh is to support prolapsed organs from falling down and out due to lack of tone. But you need to understand this. If we could stop, root rot, which is your large intestine from leaking waste into you and then having abdominal pain and inflammation and becoming rotten to the core, we can reverse this. But this is not told to people. You are not being given an opportunity to even take your life back, to take your health back. So understand this. Mesh, it is most commonly used in hernia surgery within the abdomen when an organ protrudes through the abdominal muscles. Once you surgically put mesh in, it causes scar tissue that welds itself into place. The mesh will then begin to shrink and push itself up against the tissues that it grows into. Look at the mesh creates a stiff beef jerky like scar tissue, which creates a hard, inflexible object that becomes a physical block, choking off the microcirculation to all surrounding tissues and organs in this area. This physical block of mesh and scar tissue will eventually cause an inflammation crisis in all your pelvic organs, hips and vagina, creating a recurring surgical nightmare. Yeah, you may not believe this, but you know what? You're getting your hip replaced because you had pelvic inflammation, and your pelvis is what we call the soup bowl. But guess what? You've been dumping waste from your large intestine into that soup bowl. All your pelvic organs must continually move smoothly for maximum circulation to be consistent. But for most, their organs and tissues have become frozen, cemented structures of scar tissue, crystallization, and displaced calcium, which results in minimal blood and lymph flow and inevitably tissue disintegration in the surrounding areas. This mass of mesh, scar tissue, crystallization, and displaced calcium will cause a cascade of problems from the tip of your toes to the tip of your nose. Most people that get mesh will never realize that the mesh was responsible for the future diseases in other parts of their body. Go figure. Please take this to heart. Once mesh has been surgically placed in you, you cannot remove it. Once this mesh is installed into you, it will be a nightmare to get out. It will be like trying to remove rebar from concrete. There are 4 states currently suing Johnson & Johnson for concealing the damages and the dangers of vaginal mesh. Vaginal mesh has and can destroy not just your sex life, but your whole life. It's a foreign object implanted into the holy grail of the human body, otherwise known as your abdominal pelvic region. Why would anybody put a foreign object in the most sensitive area for a man or a woman and not expect all cell to break loose? Look, in the past decade, mesh lawsuits have cost Johnson & Johnson $300 million, but during that time, their total revenue exceeded $683 billion. Therefore, they have no problem playing the pain game, lawsuits, or worth of risk. Because it's worth the risk. Because there is no risk. It's just a part of doing business. And then we have the hip manufacturers that are forced to recall hip replacements containing cobalt because these devices cause nearby tissues to disintegrate. But understand this, all hip implants have complications no matter what they are made from. The medical device industry continues to recommend cobalt even though they understand the human cost. I need you to understand this. Health and human beings have taken a back seat with the medical device industry because this disregard of human life increases their bottom line. They measure the cost of life by their profits. So where is the FDA, the supposed watchdog of safety? There are currently 10 million people that have hips, knee, and shoulder replacements with cobalt. The take-home message today is that systemic cobalt poisoning from a hip replacement or any other joint is a common problem. You can make a strong argument that everyone would be better off if we stopped innovating total hip replacement. But understand this, every type of implant will have complications, end of story. If you don't take care of your body, then who will? You can no longer rely on the medical device industry or the government to do what's in the best interest of human health. You will regret becoming an implantee, and most implantees will never realize that the disease they have gotten from the implant was actually caused by the implant. This is a scary time to put your health or your life in the hands of a corporation's care, because there is no longer anyone guarding the henhouse. Whether you wish to believe this or not, implants are foreign to the human body. These implants will invade the body, causing an autoimmune response, which will unleash an attack on the implant and all the surrounding tissues, leading to tissue disintegration. If you have already been given an implant, it's not the end of the world, but you will have to take massive personal action to protect your immune system and to remove the excess scar tissue, because this implant is now a ticking time bomb. In a written response from Johnson & Johnson, they said, "Your assertion that our vaginal mesh and hip products have had a negative impact on the health of patients is untrue." By the way, Johnson & Johnson is currently being sued by 65,000 mesh and hip replacement patients. Now let's talk about a supposed medical technological breakthrough, okay? It's a robotic device called the Da Vinci Surgical System, which allows surgeons to operate 7 feet away from their patient. By the way, the Da Vinci robot has made $4 billion in surgeries in the last year. They call it intuitive surgery. I call it the blind leading the blind. People are getting surgery when they don't even need it. And this is a very slippery slope we're on, as you will soon learn. The story of how the robot came into healthcare is the story of what's wrong with medicine in America today. Massive adoption of a new technology with little evaluation of the outcomes. Where's the FDA again in this horror story? The Da Vinci Surgical System is a surgery that has terrible complications because it's a robot. The manufacturers are now saying that most doctors only need to have 2 or 3 surgeries to perfect it, but surgeons are stating that it takes 200 to 300 surgeries before they are even comfortable with the Da Vinci surgical robot. When they brought the Da Vinci Surgical System robot to the FDA, they said they would give 9 weeks of training, which they did not do, and the FDA never enforced it. They only gave surgeons a half a day of training to allow a robot to decide your fate. So now let's talk about the women who have had hysterectomies using the Da Vinci robot. Remember earlier when I was mentioning things falling down and out in the abdomen, pelvis, and vagina? Well, hang on tight, real tight. Some women have had up to 3 feet of their intestines fall out of their vagina after getting a hysterectomy with the Da Vinci robot. Vaginal cuff surgery complications occur 3 to 9 times more often with the Da Vinci Surgical System robot. Many women who have had hysterectomies with the Da Vinci robot have been unable to ever have penetration again because the destruction that the device left behind in their vagina created a major block and scar tissue issue that causes pain every time they make love to their loved one. I can tell you, that we have had many women come to us with this very problem, and they no longer have to live with it once they embrace the Perfect Day protocol and Wolfe Non-Surgical Deep Tissue Therapy. But understand this, you must do your own research. Trust no one. It's your body. Look don't even trust us. Challenge us. Challenge everyone that's in authority that says that they know what they're doing. Look many women have almost died because of this robotic procedure. This robot is not a human being. It has no heart. It has no feelings. It does not care. Sounds like a corporation to me. Intuitive surgery continues to advise surgeons to determine for themselves if they're ready to perform surgery with the Da Vinci surgical system robot. Intuitive my foot. This is like giving someone a loaded gun and they don't even know how to use it. I'm reaching out to every woman who is considering a hysterectomy or is suffering from ovarian cysts, bladder infections, fertility issues, fibroids, endometriosis, continual pain, and every man that has prostate problems or bladder problems to rethink their options. You do not have to live with these painful pelvic conditions. Understand that you can take your life back. It's your God-given right. Your body knows how to heal when given the chance because you've learned how to love yourself well. Over 33 million women in North America suffer from chronic pelvic pain. Why have women accepted this nagging and even excruciating pain as a normal way of life? I'll tell you why. Programming. We are all programmed to serve the needs of corporate America. Stabbing pain in your pelvis is not normal. Pelvic prolapse, urine leakage is not normal. Painful lovemaking is not normal. Doctors have been programmed for pain. Welcome to healthcare. Painkillers, muscle relaxants, feeling helpless and depressed have become a way of life for almost half of the female population. I understand, but listen to me, you're not alone. 50% of all women have pelvic organ prolapse. 1 out of 3 women suffer from sexual pain. The truth is 49% of all women leak urine. Just because this is becoming normal with most women does not make it natural. Do not accept this. You're not broken. You have been betrayed by a healthcare system that does not work for women. No matter how desperate you feel, just know that we have turned, as I've said before, thousands of women around just like you and worse. Do not give up on you. You do not need surgery. You do not need pills. You do not need to be stitched or have Botox injected into your vaginal wall when you learn how to love yourself well. I'm not telling you not to go to surgery. I'm not telling you not to do these pills. But at least you have a choice. Just know you've been set up. You're not broken. The system is. You can take back total control of your abdominal pelvic region when you welcome our perfect pelvic healing protocol into your life. You can finally throw away your panty liners and Depends forever. Never feel out of balance again. We can help you take back your power and keep it for a lifetime. Unleash your feminine power. Within weeks, you will feel and be whole again. And the confusion that your doctor suffers from. When you put yourself first and foremost by honoring, respecting, and protecting your body, you will love yourself well. Awaken and heal your pelvis and get back to life's pleasures. To learn more, check out the A to Z Wellness Masterclass, Personal Treatment and Training Guide, and the I Am Woman Guide in the Doc of Detox library, or go to the International Training Institute of Health if you wish to become a practitioner. Do not make going under the knife your first option. Give life a chance. Give self-love a chance. Give self-care a chance, and take massive personal action, because this is an inflammation scar tissue situation where displaced calcium and crystallization have come together to create a physical block that only you can heal from, and you do have the power to heal. We have had thousands of patients just like you or worse turn their life around, so never give up on you. You're worth so much more. Give your body a chance to heal by creating the perfect day. Don't give in. Let self-love win. There is something terribly wrong within healthcare today. Take a look at the statistics, or better still, take a long look at your family and friends with an open mind and ask yourself, is today's normal natural? And to make my point that we have lost our logical mind, each year, approximately 600,000 hysterectomies are performed in the United States, a little more than one uterus for every minute of the year. 100,000 men had prostate surgery last year in America. For why? Because God created a faulty product? I think not. Most people are not looking at the obvious. I believe that most diseases, and yes, cancers, get their foothold from a poorly managed large intestine, which the medical system ignores and has no problem attacking more than any other organ in the human body. What's up with this? Mankind is not kind, and as far as I'm concerned, cannot be trusted right now. Please take action and read I Am Woman and watch the Masterclass, How to Become Number One at the Art of Number Two, in the A to Z Wellness Masterclass Guide in the Doc of Detox library. I think that we can all agree that putting untested medical devices on the market has proven that we are insane. And as far as I'm concerned, is a blatant attack against humanity. Do you know that 98% of all the new innovative medical devices are untested? To help you understand how the medical device industry has free access to everyone for over the last 10 years, just know that 70 million Americans have been implanted with foreign objects, otherwise untested medical devices. But to add even more fuel to this already a raging fire, only 3 out of 4% of all the complications from these medical devices are ever reported. Medicine is all about the business of health, not about being in the health and wellness business. Welcome to the harvest. Welcome to the latest, greatest, life-saving, unhuman, untested device, medical device. Just remember this. A scientific breakthrough in most cases is not a health breakthrough. And also know that the biggest health breakthrough is learning to love you through and through. You are precious. Here are some safety precautions for human beings entering the surgical device arena. Research any device that will be used on you or put into your body. New is not necessarily better. Get a second opinion for any risky or expensive procedure. Ask your surgeon how many procedures he or she has performed. Have a friend or family member be your advocate while you're in the hospital. To see if your doctor has been paid by a medical device company, go to openpaymentsdata.cms.gov. I'll say it one more time. Go to openpaymentsdata.cms.gov. It may be a hard pill for you to swallow, but the fact is that almost all of the illnesses you will ever suffer in this lifetime can be reversed with you, by implementing things such as Wolfe Non-Surgical deep tissue body work and the Perfect Day protocol. So please check out my Perfect Day guide in my library and check out all the other guides. Look at, even if you never come to us, never call us, you need to go into the library. If you don't learn to master your brain so that you can master your body, then somebody else is going to do it. Whether you come to us or not, wouldn't it be nice to know that you are making an educated decision based on total love and honor for yourself? Understand this, doctors won't make you healthy. Nutritionists won't make you slim. Teachers won't make you smart. Ultimately, you must take massive personal action to save yourself by loving yourself well. Never forget that you were created by your Creator to create an amazing life. So claim your personal God-given right of self-healing and total self-love for yourself and for your family. Every family needs but one hero to light the way. Get treated and get trained in the world's most powerful bodywork that reverses the so-called irreversible that you won't hear about from your doctor. For almost 4 decades, I have devoted my life to creating life-changing therapies, certifications, and trainings, as well as powerful personal take-action strategies and tools for those who wish to become practitioners or for those who wish to bring their health to the highest level. For those who wish to unleash the healing power for their family. Look, we have taught everyone from medical doctors, naturopaths, nurses, chiropractors, and yes, the general public, and anyone else that has the passion and the drive to become a practitioner. There is an unseen healer in all of us. Do not limit yourself. Rise up and claim your life's purpose. Go to International Training Institute of Health, otherwise ITIOH.com, and together we will heal the world, one person at a time, starting with ourselves. We have people coming from all around the world and from all walks of life to our breakthrough trainings and certification. We also have master trainers that travel the globe, teaching personal treatment and training to couples, families, and groups. We also travel worldwide, certifying clinics, groups, and individuals in Wolfe Non-Surgical deep tissue bodywork technique. We also teach whole life coach certification throughout the world, and we also have whole life coach certification online for those who cannot travel. And when it comes to family, our personal treatment and trainings are specifically tailored for the individual. We will treat, teach, and train you in the most powerful body and mind work in our clinic, your clinic, or in the comfort of your own home. This personalized training is for singles, couples, caregivers, families, and groups of all ages. Our treatment and trainings are tailored to your specific needs and requirements, so you can either come stay with us or we'll come to you. Wolfe Non-Surgical Deep Tissue Therapy has proven itself to be the most effective form of bodywork therapy to reverse the underlying cause of chronic muscular and skeletal problems, injuries, sports injuries, muscle loss, and internal scar tissue formation within the body. However, the most impressive result from Wolfe Non-Surgical Deep Tissue Therapy is the instant relief, increased blood flow, increased lymph flow, and increased range of motion, strength, mobility, flexibility, and tone in just the first treatment. Understand this, self-healing is the only way for its nature's way. Let's rise up to our uniqueness. There will never be another you. Together, let's uncover and discover your passion, your purpose, and the hidden practitioner genius within. Let's create an evolution of love that transforms our world. Thanks for joining me on this beautiful journey called your life. May you always be blessed. So as you move on now to all the different treatments and trainings in the A to Z Wellness, go through and watch how we work with every body part and every condition and what the medical system does. And then do not hesitate to call us if you have questions. I hope you enjoy the A to Z Wellness Masterclass. Make sure that you watch it all and do it all and unleash that practitioner genius from within.